We all saw the horrifying Beirut blast and the terrible devastation it caused. Today, we're going to examine the aftermath of this disaster from the standpoint of Israeli-Lebanese relations. Shalom and welcome to the Shaliach show. Immediately after the explosion, Israel has offered to send humanitarian aid, rescue teams, and medical assistance to Lebanon. This is not the first time Israel assists enemy states in a humanitarian crisis. Since 2016, Israel has spent tens of millions of dollars and years of medical manpower in Operation Good Neighbor, assisting Syrian citizens affected by the Syrian civil war. And now, Dr. Masad Barhoum, the first Arab-Israeli director of a major Israeli hospital, reached out to the president of Lebanon and offered to open the doors of the Western Galilee Hospital to treat the wounded. These humanitarian acts of goodwill, as usual, went unnoticed. But what really caught the attention of both Israeli and Lebanese public discourse is Lebanese flag in Tel Aviv. Mayor Huldaei decided to light up the city hall with the Lebanese flag. This act of solidarity raised eyebrows of some Israelis, doubting the morality of this public display. Humanitarian aid is one thing, but waving a flag of an enemy country, it's something else. After all, Lebanon is responsible for deaths of thousands of Israelis. As to the Lebanese, they seem to be not impressed by Israeli displays of goodwill. Hundreds of social media posts hashtagged "We don't need this" condemned the Israeli quote-unquote hypocrite gesture and threatened to quote-unquote light up Tel Aviv with our missiles. No good deed ever goes unpunished. That is especially true about Israel. For Israel, the Lebanese border is the most volatile. 200,000 rockets hidden by Hezbollah under people's houses and civilian facilities aim to wipe Israel off the map. Hezbollah is a terrorist organization committing war crimes not only against Israel but also against Lebanon and in Syrian civil war on behalf of Iran. Hezbollah is a state-within-a-state enterprise, moonlighting as a political party in Lebanese parliament and also a paramilitary militia and an untouchable mafia. Many Lebanese oppose Hezbollah and certainly hold it responsible for the recent deadly Beirut blast of the reportedly vast ammunition storage. But voicing your opinion about Hezbollah is a dangerous endeavor. Take a look at this disturbing Lebanese video translated to English by Youssef Haddad, a Zionist Arab-Israeli. You will hear spontaneous outbursts of rage against Hezbollah, followed by miraculous public remorse by the same speakers.
إن شاء الله البلا بينزل عليكم لأنه البلا أنتو جبتوا البلا للضاحية بيتك للجرحى وقعت هون يا سيد بتريدها على نفسك وبعتذر منك أنت تجرحنا لبيك يا نصر الله
حاجة تبعت شباب الحزب تروح تقاتل بسوريا اختك اخذ سوريا أنا بعتذر من كعب صباطك يا سماحة السيد لبيك يا نصر الله
حزب الله بس بده شيء من المرأة بده عقد ليحط لها حبيبي بجيبتها مصاري سامعيني هيدا حزب الله ولسه حكينا على عقد المتعه عشان النسوان نحن ما ذكرنا بعد نحن قلنا بعد الحزب لبيك يا نصر الله
حق الشرعي من السيد حسن نصر الله انت مسؤول يا سيد حسن نصر الله ونحن بنعتذر منه من قلبنا واولادنا تحت صباطه.
Appalling. Lebanon is a fascinating mosaic of mostly non-Arab Middle Eastern ethnicities and religions. You have several Christian confessions, Sunni and Shia Muslims of Phoenician and Persian origins, Druze people, and up until 1970s it was a home to a Jewish community that was expelled from Lebanon to become refugees, its synagogues bombed and leaders tortured and killed. That said, Lebanon is also a country with significant pockets of popular support of Israel. Under the radar, of course. But right now, Lebanon, just like Syria, is a failed state, kidnapped by the Iranian regime and its proxy Hezbollah. Lebanon government and the prime minister resigned following riots and violent confrontation with police. Now is the time for the international community and the UN to switch their attention to salvage these nations from the grip of terror and despair.